Well, I think we're still, a group under construction right now. Right now, our guys we got some experience, but we got guys that hadn't had experience playing with each other. So that's what we're trying to do, is get some camaraderie with those guys playing with each other and start to form a chemistry for us to get better.
Anybody catch your eye? I mean, specifically, Coach, the three SEC transfers, Nichols, Emba, obviously, and Langham.
Yeah, all three of those guys I think are going to be really good assets for our program. These guys come in, they work their butt off. The thing that they got to do is they got to learn the system, because some of them wasn't here in the spring, so they're playing a little bit of catch up. But right now, those guys I think they're on track to be where we want them to be by fall.
What's that process look like of guys coming in and learning this new scheme?
It's like anything else. Takes time, but I think they're adapting to it very well. I mean, there's some mental errors here and there, but if they continue to just stay in their playbook and do the things that we ask them to do, we're going to get better and better and better.
So, Coach, the line has got ends and defensive tackles, but there's no nose tackle.
Yeah, we actually do. We have a nose tackle. He plays a zero and he plays a shade and plays a 2-eye. So we do have a true nose tackle. If I'm answering your question correctly.
And who's helping out a nose tackle right
now? It would be Cole Bavard, Isaiah Nichols, Mo, and Chops. Those guys are our 4 nose tackles.
And who's helping out at tackle?
Then our tackles would be Langham, Pac right now, DeMarge. Those guys are working at the tackle position.
And speaking of DeMarge, can you talk about him? Obviously, he didn't play all last year. I think he was out there today. How's he coming along?
He's coming along. He's still nursing some things, but he's still learning the system. But DeMarge is giving us effort every single day. Comes out and he gives it to his teammates. Basically he's been a little nicked up here and there, so we hadn't had him full time. So he's still trying to get himself into shape and things like that. But he's doing really well.
What have you seen from the young guys like Chops and Drake Carlson?
Well, I just think those young guys are going to be guys that we're going to continue to develop. That is going to give us some things down the road that's going to help us to be a really good front. I think Chops is learning. All these guys got different learning curves, so we got to take them at their pace and then get them up to pace with everybody else. So I feel really comfortable with those guys and really glad that they're here.
Who's been working at end?
The ends have been Joe Anderson, Joe Strickland, and Emba. Those guys have been working at the end positions. I think all 3 of those guys are competing. Like I tell them every day, the depth chart changes depending on your performance. We grade every practice, so you decide whether you're going to walk out there with the first group or the second group or the third group. I don't make it the depth chart. You make it.
Who's your leader? Do you have leaders?
Well, I think right now that's one of the things that we're trying to form in that room. I think we have some guys that have stepped up a little bit and start trying to take some leadership roles in that room, but I'm not ready to brand one and say, hey, he's our leader. Right now, I want the group to lead each other. I want that group to police each other. So as we go along, I think some of those guys will separate themselves and become those leaders that you're asking about.